Right, so it's that time of year. The Game of the Year awards, or the the Game Awards ceremony is happening on December 8th, and they're doing the voting for the Game of the Year awards, or the Game Awards. Currently, I wasn't initially going to vote because honestly I haven't played many games this year, but I was thinking of videos to do, and I thought this would be a fun one to have a little bit of a discussion with you guys in the comments about, because I have opinions about the very limited amount of games that I've actually played this year, and you guys probably have opinions, and you guys have probably played more games this year than me. But yeah, the Game of the Year awards. I'm going to do my votes. So first category is the actual Game of the Year category. Recognise a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So the nominees are A Plague Tale Requiem. I didn't play. I've heard good and bad things about it. I've heard mostly positive, but I've heard that the first one's better. Elden Ring, a lot of people love it. I can't do From Software. I just can't. It's not. I don't like that overly punishing level of gameplay. I like From Software games outside of that. Like, I liked the Final Fantasy one that came out earlier this year, and I liked Jedi Fallen Order as well. I guess it has to be an IP that I like. Just something, just slap generic medieval thing and really punishing. If it doesn't have something that gets me through the front door, if it doesn't have like an IP that I really like, or say if they do a Blade from Soft style game, or a Blade like Souls like, I'll be into that. I'll be like through the door day one. But Dark Souls, Elden Ring, not for me. I liked Bloodborne a little bit. Father Gascoigne can suck a dick, but I liked most of what that game had to offer. I like that kind of Cthulhu-esque thing. God of War Ragnarok, I can tell you right now, that's what I'm voting on. That is my Game of the Year. I haven't even beaten it yet, and if you've been watching my streams, or my streams recently, then you know God of War Ragnarok is a beautiful game. It's one of the best openings to a game. Even like not even halfway through, I'm in, and it's some of the best moments in video games, or some of my best moments gaming have been through that game. I don't know if it's just because I'm doing it on Twitch, but I'm having a blast with it. So that's definitely what my vote is going on. But it's interesting, these other three. Horizon Forbidden West was gonna be up here anyway. I like the look of it. It's just when it came out, I didn't have the money to buy it, and if I get that, I'll have to get the first one, and that's a trek. That's a long game, and it's a long sequel as well. God of War I'd already played back in 2018. It's my favourite game ever. God of War Ragnarok is quickly becoming up there with that, touching shoulder to shoulder, if not bumping it off a little bit. Stray, I'm happy to see Stray here. It's good that these weird little cat games, these games about like cats fighting an alien invasion. It's weird that these like little, not necessarily AAA games are getting the the notice that they deserve. I didn't play Stray, but I know a lot of people who did, and I know a lot of people who really enjoyed it. So I'm glad that it's here. Is it Game of the Year? I don't know. Like I said, I didn't play it. I only played one of these. So again, I'm not the best person to ask to vote for this, because I'm gonna vote for the one that I've played. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think if I owned a Switch, that would be right up my cup of tea, because I love Final Fantasy, and Xenoblade is similar to Final Fantasy. From what I've seen of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, it looks very similar to Final Fantasy 11 or 12? Final Fantasy 12, I think, is the one with the weird, like, arcing lines, and those showing how you attack. Like, you know, it's easier to show than to tell. But yeah, my vote goes on God of War Ragnarok. Yeah. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Next category. I spent 6 minutes on the first category. I've cast my vote. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So these are Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Immorality, which I've never heard of, and Stray. No guesses which one I'm going for, God of War Ragnarok. Best narrative. I feel like we're gonna have a theme to these. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring for narrative. Really? From what I've seen of these FromSoft games, the narratives aren't really the strongest suit. Maybe Elden Ring's different. I don't know. God of War Ragnarok. No guesses which one I'm voting for. Horizon Forbidden West and Immorality, which I've never heard of. I've gotta get around to seeing what that Immorality is all about. If it's being up for several nominations, but I'm voting for God of War Ragnarok. Again, come on, give us something different. Ah, man. Best Art Direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Okay. Do I vote for something different, even though I haven't played any of the other games in here? Or do I just vote for God of War Ragnarok just because it's the one that I played, even though I don't necessarily think that the art and direction of God of War Ragnarok is that much better than the first game. But in saying that, I do think that the game is beautiful, and I do think that Nidhogg fight in particular had me feeling the feels, and I think that was mostly because of the way that it was presented and the way that it looked. So, God of War Ragnarok. Oh, I can see people getting very angry at me now because I'm just voting God of War Ragnarok on anything. But if it's the only one I've played, it's the only one I've played. Maybe this video is a bad idea. Best score and music. Okay, for outstanding music inclusive. inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok again, Metal Hellsinger, which if there's going to be anything that Metal Hellsinger gets, it's this, and Xenoblade Chronicles. Would be disingenuous of me to put God of War Ragnarok when Metal Hellsinger is here. I didn't play Metal Hellsinger, but I know that the whole point of that is like shooting. It's like Doom meets Guitar Hero. So it's a shooter, but you shoot to the beat of the music, and it's like a full heavy metal soundtrack. So it doesn't really fit my vibe, but I kind of have to vote for it just because the point of the game is the soundtrack. So if it doesn't win best soundtrack, then there's something there. So I think Metal Hellsinger has to be what I vote on there. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Metal Hellsinger's not for this as well. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I think if anyone votes for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, they're stupid. Not to insult anyone's intelligence, but the Call of Duty games I feel like are for people that want to say they're gamers but they're actually not. If you play Call of Duty, you probably vape. It's just, you're probably one of those people that was like, I vaped before it was cool, and it's not cool now. Elden Ring, again, Elden Ring's up for fucking everything. So I hope it wins one thing. I don't want it to win much of anything because I feel like it's severely overrated. Because like these FromSoft games are just so generic. It's just, how many times are you gonna do a slow-paced medieval game where the villains just feel like, where everything you fight just feels like a messed up fever dream? It's like you had 3 Dark Souls, which that's all it was, just messed up fever dreams that you fought, and occasionally a dog with a sword. And then you've got Elden Ring, where it's like fucking hands. You're fighting hands. What? It makes no sense. God of War Ragnarok again, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West. I've got to vote for my boy, God of War Ragnarok. Brother! The sound design on Brother alone. Oh dear. Best performance. Okay. Awarded to... Oh, you're not giving us a choice to vote for Freya's voice actor? Voice actress? That's kind of... I would have 100% voted for Freya's voice actress if she was up here. Because her scene when she like forgives Kratos, sorry for a spoiler there, when she forgives Kratos in Vanaheim, that moment brought me to tears, and it's purely because of her voice acting. So I think she definitely deserves to be here above, you know, Christopher Judge does a great performance as Kratos, but he doesn't really have that many emotional scenes. I'm not going to bother talking about Ashley Birch, Manon Gage, or Charlotte McBurnley, because I have no frame of reference for their performances, because I didn't play those games. I've played enough of God of War Ragnarok to know that Kratos gets moments, but I feel like the first game gave him more stuff to do. It's definitely more of a Sunny Suljic or Sunny Suljic show, God of War Ragnarok. It's more about Atreus, it's more about Loki, and it gives Sunny Suljic more moments. If the Freya voice actress was here, then 100% I would put my vote on her. But I think out of Christopher Judge and Sunny Suljic, I know I'm only talking about God of War Ragnarok, but it's the only game that I played. Out of these, if I played others, then maybe I would have more of a conversation here. But I think, yeah, Sunny Suljic, definitely best performance. Someone needs to, like, the MCU is picking out all of these people and all of these, like, actors from Game of Thrones and all that. The fact that they haven't picked out, like, Sunny Suljic or you know, any of these, like, video game people, maybe they don't want to go into big budget movies. But I remember Christopher Judge, before he played the role of Kratos, was like, video games are where voice actors go to die. And then he read the God of War script and was like, this reduced me to tears, I'm doing this job. It's a video game. It's a beautiful video game. I want to do this. Ooh, this is difficult because I haven't heard of any of these. This is Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Okay. I'm literally just voting based on I'm voting based on nothing, based on what it looks like here, and it looks like the one that catches my eye the most is Citizen Sleeper, but I haven't heard of any of these. I haven't heard of A Memoir Blue. I haven't heard of As Dusk Falls, and As Dusk Falls is an Xbox game, so no. Citizen Sleeper looks the most interesting to me. Endling, Extinction is Forever, never heard of it. I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, never heard of it. Hindsight, never heard of it. I may get shot in the foot for saying that I never heard of any of these games, but I haven't. So my vote is going on Citizen Sleeper just because it's pink. I like pink. There you go. It's gonna be difficult for this because we're getting into games that I don't play or haven't played in a while. Best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Square Enix, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, or Genshin Impact. So the discussion here is between Destiny 2 and Genshin, or Final Fantasy 14. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14, but I know that player base is massive, and I know that people love it, and I know that's the one that's going to win. Anyway, Destiny 2, it broke my heart when Destiny 2 was sunset content, but that wasn't this year. And I haven't played Destiny 2 this year. I haven't played any of the content that it released this year. I didn't bother with the Witch Queen stuff, and I certainly haven't touched Lightfall, which is after that. So obviously Apex Legends I couldn't care less about. Fortnite I couldn't care less about. I think my vote has to go on Genshin, because Genshin is the one that I've actually touched this year. I haven't played much of it, and to be honest, this is a category I couldn't care less about, because even if the big conversation is in the Avengers circle, in the Avengers community, is why is it not here? And my whole add to that conversation is that this is for best ongoing game, and Avengers is an ongoing game in the same way that McDonald's is a restaurant. Take of that as you will, and take of that as, you know, coming from someone who's going to be making a lot of Avengers content in the next few weeks because of Winter Soldier coming out and everything. But I think all of the games here have had multiple content drops of significance this year. Avengers has not, and I know that people in the Avengers community want their game to get recognition, but the thing is, if Crystal Dynamics can't recognise that they've got a game worth working on, then, you know, why should the Game Awards recognise a lack of work that's going into a game? Voting for Genshin Impact. It's the only one there that I've played this year, I've actually put into this year. Best Indie. Ooh! Best Indie for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside of the traditional publisher system. Okay, this isn't the one that I didn't think that there was going... This isn't the one that I thought... Because I know that Vampire Survivors is up for something, but it's not up for Best Indie. So we've got Cult of the Lamb, which I've heard of, not played. Neon White, never heard of. Sifu, which I've heard of, haven't played. Stray, which I've heard of, but haven't played. And Tunic, which I have heard of, but I don't know why I've heard of it, because that Tunic image doesn't look familiar to me. I'm going to vote for Stray, just because I like that Stray is getting recognition of any kind, and I feel like it should win something, just because it's a cute cat game, you know. Best mobile game. Ooh. Oh, I already see one here that's going to piss people off. For the best game playable on a mobile device, Apex Legends Mobile, fuck off. Diablo Immortal. You really think Diablo Immortal is going to win this? Really? 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 Diablo Immortal is the poster child for scummy practices in mobile games. Diablo Immortal is exactly why people hate mobile games. Genshin Impact, I did already vote for Genshin Impact on one thing. I play it on PlayStation, not mobile. Tower of Fantasy, never heard of. And then Marvel Snap. Obviously, I'm the guy who loves Marvel, and this is the first Marvel thing that has had any like opportunity to vote for it on here. So obviously I'm voting Marvel Snap, and also add in that it's a good mobile game that has no predatory elements surrounding it. yeah, Marvel Snap, all day, all day. It's a great game. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates. Marvel's Avengers. Oh my god. Yeah, no fucking kidding. Marvel's Avengers is not on this list, because who expected it to be? With the same amount of communication as a talking to a dev on about Marvel's Avengers, or talking to a Marvel's Avengers official page. It's like talking to a brick wall. The thing is, with a brick wall, at least a brick wall serving a purpose. We've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, famous for deleting all of its content after 2 years of release. So yeah, I think Bungie definitely has the best community support, because they deleted most, if not all, of their content after 2 years without telling anyone. By the way, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, No Man's Sky. I think this one's going to have to go to Fortnite. Really? Best community support? I don't know what the community support's like in Fortnite, but they do have really good social media presence. And there must be a reason why there's so many streamers that are still like working with Fortnite and getting sponsored by Fortnite. There must be a reason why streamers and content creators are so happy to be sponsored by Fortnite. Right? Because I don't see that with any of these other games. No Man's Sky. I mean, No Man's Sky did fix everything. Famously, No Man's Sky went from being utter dog shit to being brilliant. So I'm tempted to vote for that, but I'm also tempted to vote for Fortnite, because Bungie is terrible with communication. We all know that. Famously terrible with communication. Apex Legends, EA, famously very bad with communication. Square Enix, famously terrible with communication. So it's going to have to be Fortnite. Because the whole thing with No Man's Sky is that's a game development thing. It's got nothing to do with community outreach or support. I think the best games for community support and for like developers actually getting to know their player base is an independent game. That's the best way to do it, because you actively get backers and supporters from that, and they're so small, and the development team is usually so small on something like that they will actively go out and get to know the people playing their games. So I think, though, the fact that there's no indie here, the fact that these are all like games as a service stuff, of course that's what people are looking at when they think of community-driven games. They're thinking of games as a service stuff. But I don't think any games as a service game, especially the ones here, and even like Marvel's Avengers is famously very bad for community support, and I get why that's not here. And maybe because the Game Awards just forgot that Avengers was a thing, which, you know, I want Avengers to be here next year. I really do. But I think that might just go into the, that might actually, do they have a in memoriam section of the Game Awards? Do they have that? Because Avengers should be there. Avengers should be in the in memoriam section, because that game is getting put down next year. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that game's getting put down. Yeah, I voted for Fortnite on something. I feel dirty myself. Innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1 and The Quarry. So as soon as I booted up God of War Ragnarok, and this video is going to probably be 50 minutes long. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, we do what we do. As soon as, because it's the only one out of these that I've played. I haven't played The Last of Us Part 1. I refuse to play the first game in a series when I know that I'm not going to like the second. I refuse to do that. I know The Last of Us Part 1 is a great video game. I know that people praised it to Kingdom Come. I also know that people despise the second one. You know, most people that I watch on the internet say that the first one is brilliant, the second one's terrible, and I don't want to get into I don't want to get into a game that I know is going to shoot me in the foot as soon as I get to the sequel. It's like watching a TV show and then season 2 they kill your favourite character and you're like, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm definitely going to go for God of War Ragnarok, because as soon as I booted it up, I saw like the options to make it accessible for people with learning difficulties, people with like disabilities, and that's something we need to embrace more as a community of gamers. We need to make it more accessible for the disabled community. We need to be more inclusive in that way, because we're doing so much right for being inclusive towards different sexualities and different races. And we've got games with like black protagonists, we've got games with female protagonists, we've got games with homosexual protagonists, and we've got, you know, bisexual romance choices in Dragon Age Inquisition, you know, and that game came out years ago. So I think we need more accessibility for the disabled community, and I think this is a thing on Sony's behalf. I know there are specialized equipment. There is specialized equipment out there for disabled gamers, but I think that that's something that Sony and Microsoft need to actively work on themselves, and to have it be affordable, or to have it come with a PlayStation, and if you're building your games, or if you're encouraging game studios to make their games more inclusive, I think that has to start at the top. I think that you need to have official Sony licensed equipment so that it's not down on charities or down on third parties to make equipment so that disabled people can play your games. I think that needs to come from the ground up. And I know I'm not the official spokesperson for the disabled gaming community. I mean, the worst thing I have is dyslexia and tinnitus, so which neither are an actual disability. But you know, there needs to be official, affordable equipment for disabled gamers. It's just my opinion. Yeah, I'm voting God of War Ragnarok because that is the first time, and maybe that's because I don't play many new games that come out every year. But that's the first time that I saw the active choice to to play your game in a more accessible way. It's the first time that I saw it anyway. Next category, best VR or AR. So I don't play VR games. I want to vote on everything. After the Fall looks kind of like the one that I would have the most fun with. Among Us, I really don't care for Among Us. Is it still a thing? Is that still a thing? Among Us was a thing that I didn't get on board with. I mean, it was fun to play with friends for like a week, and then it's basic. It's a mini game in a Jackbox collection. If it was a part of a collection of mini games, great. I'd be all on board with it. It's a fun mini game. That's all it is, though. This is just the one thing. So yeah, I'm going with After the Fall because it looks like the most interesting thing there. But I don't really do VR. Best action game. Bayonetta 3, I didn't play. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, or my vote is going on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Chef's kiss. When's the Cowabunga collection coming out? Yeah, it's not going to win, but out of these, Bayonetta 3 is probably going to win. Or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, fucking normies. But yeah, TMNT Shredder's Revenge, that's getting all of my votes all day long. Please, please, anyone out there, vote for TMNT Shredder's Revenge on that, because we need Konami to start making games again. That's the biggest thing, and we're only now halfway through. Plague Tale Requiem. This is Best Action Adventure, the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, or Tunic. It's obvious what my vote's going on, God of War Ragnarok. Even though the gameplay is very similar to the first game, the new additions and the new things that it brings make it so that you can't really go back to the first one without wishing you could do this, wishing you could do that, wishing there was more traversal options and that. The only thing with God of War Ragnarok is there's no jeopardy whenever you're climbing something. In the original God of Wars, you had like wall combat, and you could fight, you fought stuff while climbing. There is none of that in God of War 2018 or Ragnarok yet that I've seen, and that's the one thing where I'm like, I would have liked something there, but then again, it's not a big thing. Best role playing. So for the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. So we've got Elden Ring, Live a Live, or Live a Life, or Live Alive, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Triangle Strategy, or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I voted Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just because I don't want Elden Ring to win anything, because I know that it's gonna win a lot. I know a lot of people are probably gonna have that mentality with God of War, but God of War is genuinely brilliant. Elden Ring is not. I'm so sorry, Elden Ring fans. Best fighting. For the best design, primarily head-to-head combat. So we've got DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters XV, whatever that is, Sifu, and my vote is going on Multiverses because of course it is. Multiverses is brilliant. I had that video where I was like, I kind of stopped playing Multiverses, and then they added arcade mode, and they added ranked, and they added so many new characters. and it's like that game just goes from strength to strength. The other ones I haven't played, but that one is great. Best family. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. So we've got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3. I haven't played any of these, but I'm voting on Lego Star Wars. Because I love Lego and I love Star Wars. And to be honest, it's the only one there that I would consider playing, or be able to play, because it's the only one not on Switch. Best sim / strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy. Gameplay irrespective of platform. See, here's the thing. This is why I don't like that this is happening now instead of at the end of the year. Because I would love for the ability, like the Game of the Year stuff should happen in January. Really, all of the blank of the year things should happen in January, because then you have everything that came out in that year, including December. See, this is excluding December, so it's excluding Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I think would be the perfect thing to put here, because now, and this is wholly just because of me, because that's the thing that I would have voted for. But out of these, there's nothing here that interests me at all. Maybe Warhammer 3. I don't know. Yikes. That's a yikes category. Speaking of yikes categories, best sports / racing. For the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. I'm tempted just to vote for Ollie Ollie World, because you've got F1 2022, FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and then you've got Ollie Ollie World, which is the only one here that looks remotely interesting. Sorry, sports game fans. I just don't. I can't get into. I don't like football. I can't get into F1 games. I had a few PS2 ones, and they weren't good. I don't think anyone in the UK really cares that much for basketball. And Gran Turismo, I can't do realistic driving games. I'm much more of a kart racer kind of guy, and that's the only one that looks necessarily interesting to me, and even then, not that much. It's just not my genre. Best multiplayer. Ooh, we've got an actual competition here. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, not voting for that. Overwatch 2, not voting for that. I thought about getting Overwatch 2. I may still be in the process of thinking about Overwatch 2, but there's just so much else that I've got to think about, and I'm not going to get the time to ever play it really. Splatoon 3, not played it, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It's between Multiverses and TMNT. Multiverses is the one I've actually played with people with. TMNT I played on my own, and also that's a very limited time scale of how much you can get out of it. Multiverses is something that's ongoing, something that will always have new content, new stuff to do, and has the variety of being able to play with friends with it. Because you can do the 2v2s, you can do the 1v1s, you can jump into a friend with arcade mode, ranked, like I said, and it's always going to have more stuff coming. Whereas Shredder's Revenge, that's like at best like a 5-hour runtime, and then you're done. So Multiverses. Content Creator of the Year. Where am I? See, this is dumb, because I don't watch any of these. I don't watch Carl Jacobs. I don't watch Ludwig. I don't watch Nibelian. I've never heard of No Brew. I've never heard of QT Cinderella. I'm tempted to just vote for Ludwig because he's the only one there that I've heard of. In fact, I am going to vote for Ludwig because he's the only one there that I've heard of. But where is... I mean, maybe because Markiplier, Jacksepticeye haven't been uploading that much this year? Where are they? I mean, there might still be problems with PewDiePie being on it. Where's KSI? Where's people like that? Where's Northern Lion on here? Content Creator of the Year. Ludwig has had a big year, to be fair. Even like as someone that I'd never heard of coming into 2022, to someone that like everyone references outside of 2022, I think he's the only one here that is deserving of a vote. You know, no disrespect to any of the others, but I haven't heard of any of you. Maybe because of the circles that I'm in, because I would have put Lejeune up on here, but the Game Awards probably don't know who Lejeune is. Dream, I'm surprised Dream isn't up here. I don't care for Dream at all, and I didn't care about his face reveal. I think it's horrible that the trending thing after his face reveal was he's ugly. That's horrible. Like, say that about me. Don't say that about Dream, who just looks like a generic guy. He just looks like every white guy ever. You know, say that about me. He literally just looks like he's homeless. I genuinely look homeless, especially with fucking straw growing out of my face. But yeah, Ludwig, because he's the only one there that I've heard of. Best Debut Indie. Okay, this is the one. For the best debut indie created by a new independent studio. So, Neon White, Norca, Stray, Tunic, or Vampire Survivors by Ponkel. Vampire Survivors, for sure, 100%, definitely. Best Adaption. Ooh, this is the one where there's actually going to be some kind of conversation about it, because 2 of these I've seen. So yeah, I haven't seen all of these, but I've seen enough to have a conversation about it. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. So the 2 I'm going to talk about, because the 2 that I've actually seen, Arcane League of Legends and Sonic 2. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Cuphead Show, and Uncharted. Uncharted is not faithful at all. If it wanted to be faithful at all, Mark Wahlberg would be Nathan Drake, and Sully would be someone significantly older. That guy from the horror movie about the blind guy in the house. What was that movie? The blind guy in the house. Don't Breathe, or Don't Speak. No, that's a No Doubt song. Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe. He should have been, or Nathan Fillion. I love Tom Holland, but not as Nathan Drake. And apparently Elena's not in that movie. It's Chloe. Why? Save Chloe for a sequel if you're gonna do a sequel. And the fact that it tries, just going from the trailer itself, it tries to do all three movies in one. And I have no compulsion to watch that movie. I will at some point, obviously, but I have no compulsion to watch it. Sonic 2 is brilliant. Sonic 2 is genuinely very good. Jim Carrey is his funniest, I think. This is the movie that Jim Carrey has made me laugh the most in. A movie with Jim Carrey in it. This is the one that's made me laugh the most. And I think Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, their relationship in that movie, it's genuinely really good. And I think the Sonic movies, outside of that weird first Sonic design with the teeth, with the human teeth, the one that was like nightmare fuel, outside of that, I think the Sonic movie franchise get it. I think they just get it, and I would vote for that if it wasn't for Arcane League of Legends, which I think is genuinely, even outside of video games, I think this is genuinely one of the best TV shows I've ever watched. Not just this year, but ever. I haven't watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It's weird that the Tekken show wasn't up here, but the Tekken show was not very good. These all are good, apart from Uncharted, which some people may say is good. It might be a good movie. I don't think it's authentic, though. I don't think it's a good adaptation. It might be a good movie, but I don't think it's a good adaptation. Arcane League of Legends, it adds to the lore. It creates its own lore. Episode 3, singularly, the best single episode of a TV show I've ever watched ever. I genuinely had to take a day off the show afterwards, because I was like, just let me process that. Usually I'm able to binge a show like that fairly easily. I needed to think and reflect and mourn after episode 3, because it's like, are we gonna just kill one character? No, we're gonna kill all of them. Everyone dies apart from the two main characters. All of the supporting cast gone in the most brutal ways possible and the most emotion-filled ways possible. Arcane League of Legends definitely the best there. If Cyberpunk wins it, I'm sorry, but no, it shouldn't. Arcane League of Legends made me feel emotions I've never felt before. So, and don't take that out of context. Crying emotions, not those kind of emotions. Crying emotions. Next category. Most anticipated game. Final Fantasy. My most anticipated game isn't on here. Spider-Man 2. Why is that not here? It's going to have to be Final Fantasy. But Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, or Legend of Zelda Tears of Freedom. I don't have a Switch, so it's not going to be Legend of Zelda. Starfield, I don't know what that is. So no. Resident Evil 4, I don't like horror games. Hogwarts Legacy, I don't know J.K. Rowling. I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter in the best the best times. So it's Final Fantasy, even though Spider-Man 2 should 100% be on there. I think that would win for sure, but no. Best esports game. I don't like any of these. For the best game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre or platform. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota 2. The fact that Dota 2 still has a fan base and still has, people playing it, amazing to me. League of Legends, Rocket League, Valorant. What I said about League of Legends before the show doesn't translate to the game. I don't like the game, but I like the show a lot. Rocket League can die in a bowl of piss and fire for all I care. Valorant, never played it. I think I'm gonna have to vote for Dota 2, just be out of respect for the longevity of that game. I've never touched it, but out of respect for the longevity in that game, still having a community after so long, you gotta respect it. Oh, this is gonna be... I don't know any of these people. Best esports athlete. The esports athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2022, irrespective of game. I don't know any of these people. I don't do esports. I'm skipping that because it won't be fair. Esports team, I'm skipping that because it won't be fair. Esports coach, skipping. Esports event. Oh, why did you... Evo? 2022 League of Legends, Major Antwerp, mid-season. No, I'm not voting for that. There you go. I've skipped all of the esports related ones because I don't... That's not a part of gaming that I interact with at all. I don't do the esports side. I have respect for people that do the esports side because they are much better at games than me, but I have no interest in that because usually it's surrounding games that I have no interest with. I'm more of a single player gamer anyway, so stuff like esports just doesn't interest me at all. Multi versus esports, now that's something I can get behind, but will it happen? It can. Has there been esports around, has there been like an esports tournament around Smash Brothers? There's got to have been. There was a esports tournament around Injustice 2 and around Mortal Kombat, so there's got to be. I know the games are completely different, but, there's got to be an esports tournament around every fighting game, apart from the really shit ones. But even then... But just, there's nothing here that I have even heard of, let alone have any kind of knowledge on to vote. But I voted for the things that I know about, and this is an hour long, so I'm sorry, but yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what your game of the year is, whether it is one from here or something else. Also, let me know what your most anticipated game of next year is. Is it like me, Spider-Man 2? Or is it something different? If so, what? Also, Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor wasn't up there either. And that's a pretty hyped up game that's coming out next year. Where is the love for Star Wars and Marvel in this? Like, I know Star Wars didn't have anything this year, game-wise. I know Marvel didn't have much outside of Midnight Suns, which hasn't come out yet. But A, you should have waited till January, and B, you should have included Spider-Man, and you should have included Star Wars. I swear there's more people looking forward to that, looking forward to those, because of the IP thing, than there is looking forward to Starfield and whatever else was there. I can't... Resident Evil 4, there's probably people looking forward to that, but not as many people looking forward to that as Spider-Man 2, I don't think, and Jedi Survivor, I don't think. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's been an hour. I hope you got your popcorn. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.